is Ruel's Running Podcast, a podcast about running, health, family, play, and an NSNG lifestyle. And now, here's your host, Ruel.
Excuse me as I rock on. That's Went Away by Dorothy Lane. Dorothy Lane out of Martinez, California. That's out of the Cut and Dry album. Check them out at dorothylanemusic.com. Yeah. Hey everybody. I'm not sure what this is about, but listen to the podcast. It's Ruel's Running Podcast. We are still amidst COVID-19. Dun dun dun. And I just was reminded that for my situation, it's been 3 weeks at home. As of this recording, it'll be a little over 3. So crazy. I hope everybody else is doing okay. And I thought about releasing these episodes sooner and letting the back episodes just sort of trickle in when they need to trickle in. Because I don't know, it'd be kind of weird, like, I don't know. I don't want to put too much thought into it. Got so much going on. We all have so much going on. You know, it's sort of like, let me record me just being speechless about the whole situation. And, you know, I try to be thankful for what I have, you know, and be thankful for that it's not worse. Things could always be worse. Just what was it? I cut my kids' hair. I cut their hairs today. Cut their hair today. I trimmed the boys' hair. I gave the boys haircuts. I don't even know how to say it. I cut their hair. I cut hair today. I have 2 boys, and I gave them haircuts today. How about that? And cut them. I did them in the garage, right? And I was thinking, like, what if this? I mean, we've said it. It's been said, you know, and I've said it. You know, I'm not the first one to say it, but this is sort of like the new normal. But what if it really was the way it has to be from now on, at least for a long while, right? A new way. You know, like I don't know, like when banking went mobile, or when banking went to the desktop, online. There, when banking went online, right? Less and less people went to the bank to visit stand in line and talk to a teller, you know, that kind of thing. It became a new way to bank, right? There's so many other remote things. Like, there's a service around here. It isn't. The last time I looked into them, they're not everywhere, but essentially you subscribe to their service, and this company will roll up with a truck and fill up your gas tank at your home, right? I guess there's arrangements. There's a way you coordinate when your pump day is, and that you would leave, your your gas hole, your gas panel, ajar, or I don't know, slightly open or open so that it's accessible. I imagine that being the new way to get gas. But that's if the new way is to not even have gas, right? It's all purely electric and solar and all of that jazz, right? What if, this becomes the way, right? What the heck are people going to do? How are people going to work who, I don't know, I don't know. I guess if it were to be the way, it would be really stretching. It would really be taking people who are behind a computer ordinarily and just making them completely sort of remote, right? If an organization wants to continue to provide whatever service that is, right? And then folks who, things that we don't have robots to do things for yet, do things for activities or tasks that we don't have robots for yet. Jesus Christ. We don't have R2D2s and C3POs, like cleaning a hotel room, making the bed and vacuuming and disinfecting and all that stuff, right? But then again, maybe there'll be less need for those type of accommodations because people are going to be staying put. It's crazy. But do you want that? How many people out there are feeling kind of like cooped in and crazy? They want to be able to go out, right? It's crazy. So yeah, welcome to the podcast. If you are a new listener, God, I hope you guys are doing okay and you're hanging in there. If you are a return listener, God, I hope you're okay and that you're hanging in there. And I do apologize. I've just not been able to crank out, or at least edit these episodes, put them together, and put them out as timely as I used to. It's just rough, especially now, having to be a parent all day, hands-on almost, and also sort of it's like a parent helping their kids with homework, and it isn't at the end of the day or on a weekend. It's like every day, all day. It really doesn't have to be, but my wife and I would choose to let that be the case, where, say, after lunch, they go online and they start working on subjects, they do reading activities, they do math activities, they do spelling activities, we'll do science, and we'll do experiments, and we'll have PE, and we'll have outside play, we'll have, so many things. It's just how we choose for it to be. Hey, everybody. So, days have passed since that last segment. We're talking like 5 days, so it's a good chunk of time. And I can't believe it's been that long already. It's amazing. So, as much as I'd like to say, in that amount of time, everything has gotten better, but it's pretty much more of the same. I'm on the go in the morning. This is the earliest I've been up in a long time. You know, since everybody has had to stay home, practically, you know, including the kids, right? Not having to go to school, all that good stuff, or bad stuff, or that weird stuff. I've not been waking up as early as I used to make breakfast, prep lunches, all of that good stuff. Get kids ready and get them to school. It's I've pretty much been sleeping in so bad, but it's so good. And so I'm up now on a Sunday morning. It's the earliest I've ever been up in a while. And originally set the alarm to get up as early as I did, so that I could get a workout on with my wife. Get your head out of the gutter. Talking about following along sort of these online workouts that we are a part of. Let me rephrase it. We several episodes ago, I talked about my wife and I joining a gym, and since COVID-19, you know, they've like everybody else has had to shut down. So, you know, what the instructors and the owners of the gym have been doing, they've been getting together with their instructors, and every once in a while post a workout online. And so just basically follow along. And and I get to do it with my wife, and it works out. But what happened was, late last night, another order came through for the bake shop, and that made us realize that we ought to spend a bit more time stocking up on ingredients. So, and knowing that yesterday after doing some grocery shopping, seeing that the one main grocery store we go to had all of their flour wiped out, right? It's like, oh, that's interesting. It's funny because all the flour was wiped out in this one grocery store, and then I checked my Facebook, and Paul Capelli from Villa Capelli, he posts, why is it he suddenly sees that that everyone on Facebook has been baking amazing breads, something along those lines. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's interesting. No flour at the grocery store, and then people online are baking tons of bread. I'm like, what is this? What's going on? So my quick comment was that, if you bake the right type of bread, you can imagine the question was, might be an alternative to toilet paper. But, that's concerning if you're a small bake shop and you don't have the ingredients. So I'm going to check again, and I'll be right back. Do you need a website, If you're an individual, a consultant, a group, or small business and need a site, or maybe you have an existing site, I can help. How about graphic design? Do you need a design for a t-shirt, logo, product, business cards? Maybe you need help with designing and developing a brand. I'm not an expert, but I do have the tools and the techniques to get the job done. How about a podcast? Yep, like this thing. This thing's a silly little show. Are you looking to set up a podcast of your own? Are you looking to reach an audience? Promote your business via podcast? Well, Abadam Studios. That's right, Abadam Studios. Yeah, so that's Abadam Studios. AbadamStudios.com, AbadamStudios.com. Check it out. That store was a bust. Did manage to get the two packages of unsweetened coconut flakes, but which was the goal, but the hope was that miraculously between yesterday and now, the hope was miraculously that they would have restocked that flour, that necessary evil. So on to the next store. Gonna head over to Target. Target, spelled backwards, is Tegrat. Just thought I'd say that. All right. So I like this approach of going to the store early. The one Trader Joe's nearby wasn't even open yet, so I'm too early for that place. So hopefully hit the Target quick enough, find what I need, find most of what I need. If not, then I may just have to do the whole paycheck, Whole Foods, and see what they have. They're open. I can see like a ton of cars already. Jeez Louise. I'm at the intersection, stopped for a family of 5 to complete the crosswalk experience. Yeah, God. I was up late last night watching Netflix. I just couldn't help myself to have that dedicated time all to myself. Because as you are going through at this time, staying at home, it's not necessarily a way to have alone time. Especially if you have others in the family. Little ones make it even worse. Like if you have one kid, it feels like you have 2. If you have 2 kids, it feels like you have 4. 3 kids, you feel like you have 6. When they're little and everyone's kind of needs something, or so couldn't help myself to just stay up, keep myself up watching. What was I watching? Ruel, what were you watching? Well, on Netflix, there's this series called Black Lightning, and I'm kind of into that right now. It looks like there are 3 seasons. I'm still in the middle of the first season, or most of the first season, so yeah, I dig it. Okay, so when you park your vehicle at a Target parking lot, do you have to do it? Yeah, do you have to have social distancing between vehicles? I think so, right? All right, I'll be back again. All right, so came out of Whole Foods. Had to wait in line for like 15 minutes outside. They have early hours for folks of a certain older age allows them, you know, to have how do you say, the opportunity to shop before the rest of the general public goes in, which is great. It was a great idea. You know, folks were being let in after they sort of presented their IDs. Someone in the staff would verify, you know, that they qualify for the early shopping hours, you know, and that's great. So I waited and I went in and I was hunting for flour and I found flour. Fortunately, the gal that was before me at the flour shelf area only needed one of the 2 remaining 5-pound bags of flour. So, you know, she was relieved to find flour, and I was happy. One less thing to hunt for. In addition, there were several small 2-pound bags of the flour, but it was labeled as organic, which is BS. It's just a reason to overcharge. But while that was happening, my wife and I were chatting as she tried to source flour online on Amazon and things like that. And along the way, we're learning about the different types of flour, and I'm like, do we have to really understand all the different types of flour? Learned a little something. You know, like for those who care, the all-purpose flour, the all-purpose white flour that I would call the conventional flour, is basically a blend of, there's these things called a soft white flour and a hard white flour. And if the information I read online was accurate, the soft white flour is good for more of the delicate flaky sort of baking, and the hard white is used for the more sort of bread type baking. It has more protein in it than the soft white, which basically means it's got higher gluten content than the soft. And the all-purpose white is a blend of both, so it's more like a medium white flour, you know. So there you go. If the information I read was accurate, that's what's up. Now, what else? I had to head back to Target because I needed to find a couple other things. And while I was there, I took a nice social distance friendly poop, and boy did I need it. I was at Whole Foods, that 15-minute wait, and you know, I was having contractions, a-hole contractions, and so when I finally came around to getting back to Target, that's the first order of business. I targeted that toilet. I was happy to go to the bathroom. Why? Because I really don't like being out and about doing this shopping in this current mode of sanitize your hands, wipe down things, and social distance, you know, keep away from people. And you know, I'm trying to keep a mask on. I have this special mask that my wife picked up months back when the smoke was the air quality was really bad as a result of some major Northern California fires. So I'm using this mask, and it's exhausting walking around with this mask. And I realized just now that, of course, it's exhausting because the air is thinner in this bloody mask. I'm having a hard time getting air. I don't know if you can hear me, but I got my mask on. Going back into the store. Jesus Christ. Which store do I need to go to now? Damn it. Oh, I know. It's time for me to hit the Trader Joe's. Jeez Louise. All right. So yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm not used to the mask. I'm out of shape as well, so I need as much oxygen as I can get. And, I was walking around one of the stores earlier, and I was thinking, like, man, it isn't crowded, and there's a lot of space, but I'm feeling claustrophobic. And I know it's like this mask that's restricting my breathing, and it wraps around my neck too, not like choking me, but it goes around the back of my head rather. And I think that's enough to just make the whole experience, it seems like it would be an easier experience, not as crowded. You just have to be mindful of your distance with folks and germs and things of that nature. But it's not for me. I just can't wait to get out of the store, pull my mask off, take off my clothes, and just be free. I'm done. Finished the Trader Joe's experience. Of all the places I went to, they're the place that I was able to, limited quantities, one per household as they have it, pick up a package of paper towels and pick up a package of toilet paper. Wow. I feel special. So, and it's kind of neat because as you stand in line and wait for them to allow X number of people entrance, they tell you, like, welcome, and they have a display right when you enter the paper products. They're like, help yourself, one per household, and so that way you don't miss it. I think it's also a way for them to sort of eyeball from the get-go, who's taking what. I mean, ultimately at the checkout, they'd be able to tell you if you have too much or not, but why sort of wait for the tail end of someone's shopping experience to tell them no, and all the while they had taken more than they were allowed, and the person who was walking sometime after them didn't see anything available, so they were like, bummer, I lost my chance at getting something because someone had been greedy. So that's that. What a morning. I might have to change this podcast name to Shopping with Ruel. I've been doing a lot of shopping. Nothing important, for nothing relevant to you guys. But I wouldn't mind finding out what you guys shop for and how you go about it and what you use things for, and Oh, well, I picked up a couple of jars of this thing called I'm not even sure what it is. It's called cookie butter or cookie spread. Some Trader Joe's brand of, it's basically like a peanut butter, but it's branded as cookie, like maybe it's like a cookie dough-ish dough type spread. It's not for me to consume or for my family for that matter. It's just something that is one of the secret ingredients for one of the unspecified treats that's on the bake shop. So, yeah, I have nothing else. I'm just wiped out. It's a Sunday, been kind of going at it all last week. Even yesterday on a Saturday, I was running around doing some work and did a lot of cooking, which was, in a weird way, it was different type of meal prep than on the weekday, because on the weekday I might have to just try and do something quick, heat up some leftovers, whatever. But then yesterday's level of cooking was more like I made a batch of bone broth. I cooked some whole shrimp, cooked up some fish, cooked up some veggies. I spent more time doing level of cooking that I had the time for, and it was somewhat therapeutic. But in between, I still had to take care of some work-related stuff. There's no one else going to do what I do, so me and a coworker, an engineer, we're software engineer, just trying to make things happen. No one else is going to do it, and if no one does it, then everyone's going to hear about it. That's my world. And it's weird because of the way I've been operating for work. The way everybody's been operating at work. It's all this asynchronous communication via chat and things like that. I almost have this want to just keep pinging people, reaching out to people about work-related stuff, but it's like, no, don't do that. It's the freaking weekend. We need a break. It's funny how everyone's working remote, but it's like everybody seems very accessible because of that method of communication. Just leave the message out there and hopefully someone will reach it. Yeah, I'm on my way home. I'm gonna make myself another coffee because I didn't get to enjoy my morning coffee. I took it on the go. And, as it sat in the vehicle as I went in and out of these stores, it just got nice and cold. My coffee with heavy cream. So, yeah. I'm like, unlike the idea of being, coming home and, coming home with like, honey, I got dinner. I went hunting and picked up some meat or fish or something. Let's cook it up. I'm coming home. Honey, I found toilet paper. Yay! So weird. All right. That's really all I got. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I really do not know what I'm going to do with this. But thanks for listening. All right. I'm exhausted. Really am. But I guess it's just a sign of the times. I'm out to grab lunch for the kids. Just sort of a change of pace. I'm going to do some takeout. Drive-through, to be specific, at an In-N-Out. There is food at home they could eat, but kind of want to do a little shift and give them a little change up, because come dinner time they're going to have what we have at the house, and that's going to be dinner. So it gives me an opportunity to, the original thought was, we all could just hop on a vehicle and go through the drive-through and be sort of go out a little bit, get out a bit before we lock ourselves back up in our cave. Then it became, it's just me heading out. The kids are actually fine. They're building Legos, and my wife has an appointment, and not sure that we'd come back in time, so her virtual appointment, and so it's just me. That's fine. And as it turns out, since I'll be at where I'm heading, there's going to be another store. I'm going to hop in this other store and just see what they have. If they have toilet paper, if they have paper towels, if they have more of the ingredients that we need for the bake shop. Might as well pick the stuff up there. So I guess it's the sign of the times. Things are sort of scarce. Some things are scarce, so it'll be interesting to see what this other store will have. It is what it is. But I am tired. I'm tired of going out and having to put on a mask and worry about what I'm touching. It's just, it's exhausting. But on the bright side, I have a hand sanitizer spray from Trader Joe's. It's grapefruit and lemon. And it says it kills 99.99% of germs. Must be true. It's 74% ethyl alcohol. Is that good, guys? And in addition to that, I do have a half mug of coffee with heavy cream that I am working on. I dropped off all the earlier groceries, and I'm out with another partial mug of coffee. I am sad, though, that all the local Starbucks, probably all the Starbucks for that matter, are just shut down. Even if they have a drive-through window, it ain't happening. So, another one of those things that we don't have access to that are comforting and not essential, a nice to have. I mean, coffee is essential, don't get me wrong. In my life, but fortunately I can make coffee at home. But the trip to the Starbucks, whether it's a drive-through or actual walk-in, that little treat, that little pleasure is gone. Yeah. So here I am, heading to this other store, and when I'm done with the store, I'll be exhausted again. But I will have to remember, despite being exhausted, that I have to sit in a long-ass drive-through line at the In-N-Out. Makes me think I should have brought a computer so that I could just do computer-related stuff waiting in line. Lame. Alright. That's, you know what's lame too is, and it's understandable, is that the race organizers for one of the events that I love has had to give notice that things are at a halt as far as whether or not the Ohlone 50K is going to happen. It's at a halt because the parks are closed at this time, and it's at this point in time don't know if it'll be open in time for the event. That also probably impairs a lot of the planning. So for folks who have already pre-registered, they're out registration essentially if the event doesn't happen. And I don't know if that at all means the race organizers would give them credit for the next event. Don't know. I haven't pre-registered, but I am sort of feeling bummed that, like a lot of things, that have to be canceled, this one thing is going to be canceled, and it's something that I look forward to. But yeah, again, it's just a sign of the times. All right, I'm where I need to be. I'll be back. And I'm back. So I'm feeling a little better. it's later in the day. I just had a workout, like a 30-minute workout with my wife. Just sort of bodyweight movements. You followed along. An instructor who was recorded a workout video in the gym for members to see if they wanted to follow along and work out. So my wife and I did that. We're trying to work out like every other day. It's not what, I mean, it's something. Some workouts I enjoy more than others. Today was really good. I like the body weight movement stuff. But yeah, it's nothing like it was in the gym where we would do 15 minutes on the floor doing body weights and weight type movements, and then switching over to treadmill for 15 and then doing it all over again for a 15-minute circuits, I guess. And so did the workout, got cleaned up, and feel better. But I tell you what, when I got back from the morning grocery runs, I don't know. I'm sure me sleeping late and getting up earlier than I normally would for the past week or so took its toll. And but just was feeling kind of like in this funk all morning. Just tried to keep sort of busy in the kitchen, cooking, baking, whatever, and just to sort of get my mind off of it. And then I got to thinking that, plus my wife was feeling kind of off as well, and then she started feeling concerned. Maybe she has symptoms. Oh my God, what would we do? You know, what are the steps we need to take if we suspect that? If we get sick, just period, we get sick, and we need to see a doctor, and then we want to rule out the possibility of having the COVID virus, right? Well, I said, logically, you would try and contact your doctor, and if you can't contact your doctor, you would contact urgent care. And either one of those folks would direct us to what we needed to do, and they would screen us and all that jazz. So I figured I'd go to our medical group website and see what they had to say. And it was pretty much that. But it went along and described too, where, don't just show up at urgent care, call ahead. And I guess they want to do a level of screening over the phone. Because even if you did show up, like to an emergency room, they were going to screen you anyways to see what type of symptoms you have, to determine whether or not you need to wear a mask, and prioritize your care. The more critical folks seen first, and it's kind of third world, isn't it? But yeah, so that's that. But did the workout, feeling better. Now I'm out and about, sort of refreshed, rejuvenated, more energy to go out and hunt for stuff at stores. That's exactly what's going to happen. I did a ton of baking for the bake shop earlier, and it's super simple baking, and it's just the first phase of what needs to be done for the treats, because they were basically various sugar cookies, cutouts and baked. And so now with that all done, we're looking at some point when everything's cool, working on the icing portion. It's pretty cool when it's all done, and looks great in photos. So, did that. But I've taken a break. I've done all the baking that I needed to do today, and now I'm back at a store that I was at earlier today, And wanted to buy a big ol' sack of rice, because that's what Asians do. They buy rice, mainly for the kids, and it's sort of it's just what has to be done. So I gotta go out. I gotta put on my mask. I hate this. I hate the claustrophobicness of this. All of this mask. Oh well. Okay, I'll be back. All right. So I went into the store, and guess what? What I saw this morning, there must have been like 200 pounds or 4 50-pound sacks of what we would have bought, but decided to just hold off, and then only to later think, yeah, let's go back to the store and pick it up. And so just it wasn't there anymore. So had to go for an alternate sort of type and brand. I don't think it really makes a difference. But the lesson there is like, if you can stand to get it at this point in time, get it. Right? Don't think that the whole strategy of I'll think about it and come back later. It might not be the best strategy, because it's just a sign of the times, Someone else just like you wants it. They just were more motivated to get it on the spot and felt more urgency than you did to get it. And now you're out of luck. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. Awesome. Now, what now? I did walk away with a big old sack of the grain. And that's just sort of like stockpiling a supply. Who knows how long things are going to be this way, and so now I'm heading over to a different store, as instructed by my wife. The quest for a teepee. I don't know. Gotta wipe your butt. Gotta wipe your butt. Not true. You can wash your butt. Sounds gross. Sounds weird. But whole countries do it. Whole societies do it. Yep. Now, I just hope that I'm going to the right store, because I've gone to so many stores that I might be mixing up my stores. I'm going to head over to Napa Auto and Truck Parts to buy toilet paper. That's what I'm going to do. No. Oh. So the only thing I'm looking forward to the rest of this Sunday is getting dinner taken care of for the kids, and my wife and I can have something nice, and just relaxing. Try to relax, because come tomorrow it's gonna wind up again, the whole schedule and coordinating the kids' activities and stuff, and it's a lot. It is a lot. And since I quit drinking in January, I've been having drinks in the evenings. So sad. So sad. I know it doesn't make any sense What are you talking about? You quit drinking in January, but yet you're drinking. Because I put it out there that I quit drinking in January. I had quit drinking in January. Everything is off. Okay. I'm at the next store. I'm at a Target. I'm at a different Target. Target. The T is silent. Or Target. I hate this. I really do. I hate this because I have to put on my mask. Have you guys seen the problem now where you walk out of a store, you go to the parking lot, and people just ditch their gloves on the ground? You know, like I don't want this. I have no place to ditch it. I'm just gonna throw it on the ground. It's like, man, I don't know. You have a responsibility to not be infected, and if infected, to not get someone else infected. It's great. But if you're going to carry gloves, why don't you have a strategy to dispose of your gloves rather than just ditch them on the parking lot? I guess it could be worse. It could be condoms. I'll be back. All right. Did a little bit more shopping, and I really want to go home and find something to snack on, something to drink, hang out with the family. But still got a bit of daylight left. Need to find out if our nearby park is actually accessible, because we need to get the kids out to have some fresh air. Fresh air is good. Something we take for granted, huh? Until we're all told to just stay inside. And then now we're like, I gotta get out. So over here, Chuck E. Cheese. You know Chuck E. Cheese, the little play area, and you can have birthday parties. There's arcade games and all that stuff, and you can order food. Well, they're still open, but they're allowing you to buy their pizza or their wings. Obviously it's takeout, so they're just operating as a food service, as a restaurant, takeout restaurant right now. All the other activities that happen in it have shut down. Yep. I mean, what do you miss? What do you miss at this point in time? I mean, my wife and I, we talk about, we miss just to be able to dine out, that whole experience. There was one day where, she brought up the idea of Japanese food. We go into a Japanese restaurant. And there's one nearby that we like going to, and automatically my mind was thinking, yeah, I'm gonna sit down on the wooden seats, and gonna order my favorite sushi there, and I may just have, a Japanese beer, right? Just enjoy the whole dining experience. And then the whole idea came crashing down. It's like, nope, it's all takeout. I'm like, it's not the same. I miss that. I miss being able to dine in somewhere and complain about service and feel obligated to tip. Just kidding. I vote by tips. That, if somebody does a great job, they deserve it. If the company is a company or a restaurant that I really enjoy in the community, and I don't ever want to see them disappear, I tip. I don't tip a lot. I'm not a big spender tipper kind of guy, but I'll do my part. I do miss just having that little bit of a commute. I miss that little bit of a journey to get to and from work. I do miss, having the option to just go out on a run, but, right now it's full-on family mode. I'd have to do like a really early morning run or a late night. Actually, it wouldn't even be a late night. It would be like a really early morning run. Go for an hour or two. Shit, maybe I'll do that tomorrow morning if I get my ass up early enough. I've been sleeping really late. I mean, we're talking like 4 a.m. It's not good. I've been getting like maybe 3-4 hours sleep. Not good. It's just, trying to compensate for not having that just me sort of time, and that sort of me time happens to be when everyone else has crashed out, sleeping, and I'm in the bed, and I've got like watching Netflix on my phone or on my iPad or something like that. And I don't want to have to crank open the computer to do a bit of work, because it just feels like the work days are even longer than they ordinarily are, because work is at home. I need to be able to shut off, and I don't want to bug people who I work with on Slack Messenger. It's not even called Messenger, it's just called Slack. It's not Slack Messenger. It's a messaging platform. Yeah. I miss. So, talking to my wife. I talk to my wife a lot these days, because we're all the same. We're all stuck together. Oh my God. So, I was talking to my wife about how this is like an interesting exercise as to how to rediscover or discover the joy of being at home, and what are the things to do at home, because I think the mind or the body is still kind of looking for that routine of having to be out on a regular work day, and the kids be out on a regular school day, and there's that tendency to for the body and the mind to expect that, but it ain't happening. So there's a struggle, right? And so you have to, what do you do when you're not doing the normal day? What do you do to sort of, can you discover something else, or can you discover something that makes it not a internal struggle, and to make it productive and to make it meaningful, so thinking about, like, maybe this is the time where my son can have a YouTube channel, right? He can have it geared towards things creative, so it's not just one thing. Like, there's channels out there specific to a particular video game, but he can include video games, he can include crafts and drawing and sculpting and all these things that he can get into and make that a thing. But the challenge there is, like, okay, you still have to knock out all of the school sort of activities at home, and then you can look forward to creating your online content. Or maybe it's my wife, right? If she wanted to do a blog, she can spend time blogging. Or if she wanted to, I don't know, write a book, or I can write a book. I can finish that book that I've been working on poop. Because everybody knows we all need another poop book. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of poop books out there, folks. Why can't I have a poop book? You know, you open the cover and that first page has like a picture of some smushed up poop in it. You'd buy that, right? Should it be scratch and sniff? Should it have on the very back page, should it have a cut out order form / coupon so you can get a discount on I don't know, on some poop swag, courtesy of Abadam Studios? I don't know. All right, I'm home. My kids are out shooting water guns. I'm glad they're shooting each other. I'll catch you later. So I'm going to wrap it up right there. Wrap it up. Smack it up. Wrap it up. Suffocate. Defecate. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Catch you in the next one. Eat something delicious. I know it's kind of hard considering we were talking about poop earlier. Hug your friends, hug your family. Just, from a distance. Wash yourself, wash your hands. And go run. And keep social distance. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Ruel's Running Podcast with Ruel. If you like what you just heard, share it with your friends and your enemies. Also, be sure to check out the site over at ruelsrunning.com. This has been another Coffee with Heavy Cream production. Join us next time for another silly show of Ruel's Running Podcast.